isn't it? I'm live. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Hockey Talk, the only regular Saturday night live hockey talk. I shouldn't have said Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Hockey Talk live stream on YouTube. Hey, everybody. Hey, David, Ryan, John, MJ was there, and Zachary. I don't know if they're still in. How's it going, guys? Thanks, everybody, for coming in. So, Nolan. Hey, Nolan. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming in. Haven't seen you in a bit. Well, not long, but good to see you. So what's up with you guys? My day and my week has been awesome. Yeah, could say pretty much awesome. And, yeah, a little hot here. A little hot in Montreal. We're about to have a couple of really warm days. Jackson and Gregory, welcome in, guys. Thanks for coming in. Wow. 11 people already. Lee Max. How's it going? A member in the room. Oh, wow. It's climbing fast. I'm not used to this. You know, it's funny because when I started doing live streams, I built it up. I was getting like 50 people in the room sometimes. And then I don't know what happened. Numbers really went down, and it's slowly building again. And it's really nice to see. George Sesford, how's it going, buddy? Sorry for not being in the streams. Don't worry, nobody's ever required to be in the streams. I'm the only one required, but I do appreciate it when you do come in, but don't worry about it. I don't expect everybody in the room every week all the time. Bada Bing and Bob St. Jean, how's it going, guys? Yeah, no, it's a good evening. It's just a little warm. And I got to wear a shirt for this. Usually I go without the sleeves all summer. Once the weather gets a certain temperature, I wear sleeveless shirts. Not wife beaters, but sleeveless, so it covers the whole shoulder. But I got complaints when I do that. So I only do that now on the members-only live stream because I figure if you're a member, you already must like me. I can wear mine. So on this, I don't do that. And it's hot. It gets hot in here because I got to turn the fans down too so the noise doesn't get in the way. Zach Hyman got hurt. I think I saw his name up on Twitter for something. I didn't really read it, so I didn't know that. Listen, guys are going to get hurt. Training camp, especially, you got to consider. They've been off for 4 months. Most of them maybe working out at home, but not on the ice. Very few players were able to skate in this last 4 months. So, yeah, you kind of got to expect players are actually going to get hurt. And this could be, like today I put out my, I guess kind of my official preview for the series. But I've left room at time because, yeah, players are going to get hurt and it could affect who's going to be playing and maybe the outcome of a series, right? Although I don't think I'm going to preview any other series. What I may do is do a video sort of giving my opinion on the other 7 series for the qualifying round. I think I might do that. But usually when I do NHL stuff, it doesn't do well. That's why, if you notice, I stopped doing a lot of NHL stuff that I had started doing because it just doesn't get the views. People aren't interested in me doing specific NHL stuff. I can cover it a little bit, but yeah. So, yeah, I'm a Habs channel, and I'm cool with that. What's the temperature up there? I believe we hit, it wasn't like it was overly hot during the day too much, but it seemed like in the evening it got a little bit more humid. And I know tomorrow's supposed to be a hot day. Like we're supposed to get close to 40, somewhere in the very high 30s with the humidity. So it's so all you American people, that means let me see, when it's 40, just say it's 40 Celsius. You're looking at let me get the calculation in my head. 72, 104. So 104 Fahrenheit around. So it's going to be somewhere around 100 Fahrenheit with the humidity tomorrow. And I'm not sure about Sunday. We might get rain Sunday. When Habs beat Penguins, who they play next? It would, okay, if, I mean, I like your confidence, but in this year, I kind of don't. Vedum, how's it going, Vedum? I mean, Vedum says good morning because where Vedum is, it's morning. Okay, I like your confidence, but not this year. I want that pick, but yeah. So if they beat the Penguins, they would play. It's unknown because the 4 teams that get the bye, they're in a round robin tournament, and that's going to determine the actual seeding. So we don't know. We have no idea. Could be any one of the Boston, Tampa Bay, Philadelphia, and I'm blanking on the other team in the East. Hang on. Philadelphia, Tampa Bay, Boston. I know there's another team. Why don't have it? What's the other team, guys? Tell me the other team in the East. Anyways, it'll be one of those teams. Yeah, good morning, Beedrill. Thanks for coming in, buddy. At least it's the weekend. It was 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Ryan, you're in Nashville, if I'm correct, right? So 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's warm in Nashville. Humid. That seems to be the way the summer is going to be. To the rest of it, it's going to be humid and hot. Domi KK Hudon, I think, is a good third line, except if you're like my thinking, Domi's not going to play. I'm thinking Domi's not going to play, and I don't see how he is. I really kind of don't. So if you when you watch, or if and when you do watch my video today, that for the preview for the Penguins Habs series, I leave Domi out. I say for me, for the video, Domi's not playing, and this is the lineup that I think, because I go over the lineups line by line and defense pairings, basically just give my opinion on that kind of stuff, and then my pros and cons for each team for winning or losing, I guess. And that was my preview, because I did another one earlier, but the lines were really different because there's differences. Just to say, I guess I got to do this every time too. Comments. There's a lot more people than we've been used to lately, so they go by a little faster. I'm not scrolling, so either just retype it and I'll get to it, or take a super chat or super sticker and I will get to that as well. And that for sure I'll get to. And that helps support the channel. I got to go through this, guys. It helps support the channel, which it really does. And it is going to allow more contests and stuff, which there is a contest. It take a super chat, super sticker, take a membership to get entered in the contest to win the skates. So if you don't know, I don't have them at hand here. It's a pair of Bauer Supreme men's skates, obviously, but they're size 7.5, so there's more for young adults or for kids, depending on how big your feet are. Yeah, so that's out of the way. Let's get to the comments that I said I'm not going to scroll for. Isn't that nice? If I missed anything, honestly, just type it in again. I'll get to it. Just I'm going to miss. The more people in the room, the more likely that I might miss something. How much is 30 Fahrenheit to Celsius? I'll give you how you do the thing. So if you want to take Fahrenheit to Celsius, or I should say Celsius to Fahrenheit. I'm not sure how to reverse it. Okay, for me, how I was born in the 60s. They changed in Canada to Celsius and the metric system when I was in, God, it was early 70s. But it doesn't matter, because ever since then, I've been a guy that converts. I convert temperature. I think it's pretty much I convert temperature, and I used to convert the liters to gallons. I don't anymore, but I always convert temperature in my head. And okay, so Celsius, if it's say 40, you double it. You take off 10%, so 40 would be 80 minus 8, 72 plus 32, 104. Now I don't know how to do the reverse. Honestly, now that's a challenge. I didn't learn it that way. I don't know if it just go the other way. Sorry. So 30 Celsius would be 60 minus 30, 60 minus 6. So is 54, and 32 is 86. Because there's two numbers in that. I know it's not hockey, but 16 degrees Celsius is 61 degrees Fahrenheit. You just flip the number over, and 28 degrees Celsius is 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Those are two you can always know. And then 30 obviously isn't much farther from 82. 86. It's basically, I think, 2 degrees for every Celsius. 6 degrees Celsius. It's basically. Okay. Oh, Nolan, thanks for coming in. I really appreciate showing up, even just a short time. Shamir, welcome in. I got 2 members in the room. My dog is enjoying it. He asked for the other way around. I know he did. I just don't know the other way around. So I'm just trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do. But I really don't know how to do it. I know how to go like into a negative for Celsius to make it Fahrenheit. That's the thing. I only know to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit. I don't know the other way around. So if it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit, do I know how to do that? Let me think about that one now. But wait a second now. It couldn't have been 30 degrees Fahrenheit what he was talking about. He must have been meaning Celsius. He's in Nashville. It couldn't have been 30 degrees. It was 30 degrees in Nashville? That's cold in the States. Okay, we're going to start over. Hi, welcome to Saturday Night Hockey Talk live stream. I don't know. I'm confused at this point on that. So let's get back to hockey. Thank you, David, for liking my mask rant. I appreciate it. It just seemed like the thing to do at the time. You know what's funny about that? I wanted to see whether they would leave it monetized or not. And so I monetized it. And it didn't even get on the air before it was demonetized, which is fine because I was originally wanting to demonetize it. But I thought, let me see what's going to happen with it. And they demonetized it right away, which was kind of it was cool. But, I mean, it was funny how quickly they did it. If Domi plays, where would he fit in with the lines? Okay, so the news of the day was it the news of the day video I did? Yeah, with the quotes from Claude Julien. So there's some really high praise for Kotkaniemi, and in that he says that if Domi does come into play, doesn't necessarily mean KK is going to be the one to be removed from that line. And I think in the wording, it was like he was going to stay as the center. So I think that if he does come in, you're going to see Hugh on who I have on the side there move down, and Domi would be on the left side, I think, with either KK or you might see him be with Suzuki and Drouin move down, depending on how it's going there with chemistry. So I don't know. And it just the lines today are pretty much just my best guess on what could be kind of thing. I don't know how to put it. That's my guess, and I really think that makes a lot of sense. That I mean, Tatar, Deneau, and Gallagher, they're going to take on Malkin, I think, more than anything. I don't think he's going to leave Malkin to Suzuki. Double and add 30. No, it's double minus 10%, then add 32. If you're going my Celsius to Fahrenheit. Ryan, Vidum, yeah. Okay, no, that was not for me. Did any players get cut from camp? They're not. That's in phase 4. Once camp is done, they'll cut maybe a couple of players. We had 33 in camp. Yeah, they got to cut down 2 more. But I think the 33, the list was Domi was on the list, so it's probably only one guy. So say there's somebody gets hurt, which is kind of likely that someone might get hurt. Then they're probably bringing everybody with them. E equals MC squared, brother. Yeah. Was catching up on your vids from the last few days. Hope Juleson's slow development progress. I'm paraphrasing. It isn't anything serious. I don't think it is. And then, because I had written this, and then I read some more kind of comments, and they're all praise for Juleson. Juleson's doing really good. But when I read that phrase, basically, there was another word in there, but delayed development coming from Julien, I said to myself that's important. That kind of tells you what his thinking of with Juleson's going to be, not for next season, but for this coming play-in. So I don't see Juleson being in there unless he has an outstanding, just lights-out camp, which he's getting high praise. So I guess it could happen. But I really take to heart, or it really stuck in my head, him saying that he's just worried about the delayed development. Yeah, I mean, so knowing Julian, he kind of means maybe he's not going to get a full shot here for this till, next training camp, and that'd be different. Remember, he only had the one game. When he came back to play, he only played one game with Laval, and then they called it. So he didn't play a lot. So it really is, who knows with him. But I like the fact that he's getting a lot of high praise, because that means that he hasn't really lost anything. He may be a little bit behind in his development, but he can make that up somehow. He can make it up, and his skills are there. I think the Habs have a real chance at the Cup. No, I don't really. But I'll give you this in thinking that. First of all, any of the teams that make it have a chance. I don't know what kind of play we're going to see. I don't know if we're going to still see the same amount of hitting, the same amount of close contact type play. I kind of think we might not see as much of that. If that's the case, it opens up the teams that have the smaller players. It opens up a lot of time and space for them. And the smaller players always have skills. There's not too many small players that are in there for their bruising hits. So it could change the course of how the playoffs really go. And that could give Montreal a bigger chance to actually win the Cup, because they don't have the biggest team. And if there's a lot more room and space and time, it could do a lot of good for Montreal. So I don't know. It's hard to say, it's so unknown, and even the matchups are really, we don't really know, and it's hard to kind of figure, well, they might play this, that, and this. It's hard to figure who's going to win. Habs should go get Lehner, but Lehner's going to be not cheap. Although, you know what, with the flat cap, I don't know, maybe, but Lehner wants to be a starter. I think one of the problems with Lehner is he doesn't want to be a backup, so he's going to have to come here to be a backup. I don't know if Lehner's the guy. Talking maths. Well, math was actually a good subject for me. I was always good at math. Do the Habs beat the Leafs on July 27th? I want to say so. There's this Twitter thing. They got told they can't use their building in the off season for training and for their prospects and stuff, because no other team does it. And I think it's frowned upon by the league. So other teams complained, and the league told them they can't do this. I think it's in the new CBA. They're not allowed to do that. So on Twitter, the Leafs fans are calling us all whiners, that we're afraid of the Leafs getting an advantage. And I went, scared of the Leafs? LOL. And then he said something else, and it was it's laughable thinking that, that we're scared of the Leafs. I don't think we're scared of anybody. So we're going to find out. And I hope on the 27th, we kick a little bit of ass. And, hey, listen, I hope that even if it's their best game and they suck against Pittsburgh after that, I hope that's their best game. And it's an exhibition game. I don't care. I just hope that's the best game. Shamir, okay, if that simply means for this season, then I'm not worried. I like the kid, and I felt bad for him, and the run of bad luck he said. Yeah, well, listen, apparently he's 100% healthy as far as that goes. So it's not anything really about his health, but he hasn't really been tested that way either yet, right? Those hard hits aren't really going to come unless he's in game action. You're not really going to get hit hard like that by your teammates. So he only had the one game back. We don't know, but he's really 100% healthy, and I would hope that it's behind him. The good thing is he's looking out there on the ice before the hitting is coming into play, right? So we got to keep our fingers crossed for Juleson, but I kind of really take it to heart that delayed development is going to worry Julian to the point where we won't see him. But then again, listen, what if they get desperate, whatever, guys get hurt? We don't know who's going to be playing, who's going to get hurt, who's going to be doing what. And maybe Juleson will have to play, so who knows? We're going to find out. Nick Robertson shouldn't play in the playoffs. Why not? I believe he was signed to a contract, an ELC before the season. You know, the reason being is that Romanov, Kaprizov, and Sorokin were players that played in Europe, right? And they signed their contracts late. And there's something that was in the rules that was not 100% whether they would be allowed to play. And that's now for Robertson, that's not the same thing. So listen, as much as I don't want him to, I don't want the Leafs to do well. That's natural, but I have nothing against this kid. He looks actually fantastic. I saw him go up against what's his name again? I can't remember his name. Muzzin. Muzzin's this huge guy, and Robertson's small. Man, he stole the puck away from him in the corner and came out and scored. And I thought, wow, this kid looks fantastic, and he really does. He looks like he's got a lot of talent. Go Habs, go! Red in Red Rock. Haven't seen you for a while, buddy. Thanks for coming in. That's awesome. What teams do I think will reach the Stanley Cup Finals? That's a good question. I think you can kind of go back to what I just said about. I kind of don't know what kind of play it's going to be. If the ice is open and there's more time, like a guy we just talked about, Nick Robertson, small guy. This guy's going to get a lot more space and time to do stuff, and he may look fantastic out there. So, I think a team that wasn't looked at maybe to be a possible contender could be a contender really easily. And, I don't really want to do that until I see some kind of play going on and see what they're doing. Like what kind of, like how physical are they getting? How close are they getting? Physical? Is it the same kind of play we normally see? Or are they a little bit standing away from each other more? That's what I want to see. Do I think Montreal Canadiens will sign Taylor Hall as a free agent? I don't want to buy. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think they're going to spend big money on anybody because with the flat cap, I don't think so. Healthy Juleson means less pressure on Fleury and Romanov in November. Yeah, well, Juleson healthy in November is a different story from him being healthy in August. So that's what I'm talking about. My dream cup final, Montreal versus Chicago. Oh, boy. When did we ever have one of those? I want to say yes. I want to say yes, like along when I was really young or even before that. We must have had one of those. Yeah, that would be pretty awesome to see Montreal, Chicago. You definitely don't see that very often. That's not a matchup for even the playoffs at all. So that'd be cool. Yes, and have some different matchups would be really nice. And we're going to see that probably in this year because the way they're doing it, matchups could be really different, way out of the normal, what we're normally used to seeing. The Leafs Habs game is actually July 28th. Well, there you go, July 28th. Either day, I'm ready for it. Maybe I'll if I can get it, like I can actually watch it. Maybe I'll live stream the beginning, the first period. So I just don't know if I could be able to watch it or not online. Nick Robertson never played in the NHL. Nope, he has never played in the NHL. He's on an ELC. He will be up in on the team next season, I do believe. And they were perfectly allowed to have him play because of when he signed his ELC. I think. Otherwise, I know it's not. It's a difference from Romanov and the other two guys than Robertson. I know there's a difference. The Leafs forever losers since 1967. Leafs suck. Yeah, Leafs suck. Okay, but I mean, listen, there's some Leafs fans in here, so we don't want to. We want to be civil. I don't know. Are there any Leafs fans? John, I always thought you were a Leafs fan. Am I wrong? I know Zachary. Zachary, I believe, is a Leafs fan. And obviously John from Hot Take, if he comes in, he hasn't been in a while. He's a Leafs fan. Leafs will lose in the playoffs. I do believe. I hope though the Leafs win the first series, the qualifying round, because I don't want them in the running for Lafreniere. So that's number one. I don't want the chance that the Leafs could win to get Lafreniere. I just don't want to see that. So I want them to beat Columbus. But otherwise, honestly, I really like Columbus a lot better than Toronto. But I want Toronto to beat Columbus because I really don't want them to have that chance at all, at all, at all. 71, 73, or both for Montreal versus Chicago final. Oh, really? And I thought it was one of them. It's one of them. I kind of want to say 73. I don't know why, but I want to say 73. But I could be wrong. I mean, still, it goes back, what? That's 50 years back, almost. It really sucks that Romanov can't play. He would be a game changer. Well, you know, I wouldn't want to really put that much on the kid to come in here and be a real game changer anyway. I really would have liked him to see him. I'd like to see him play. You know, I'm sure he'd be as good as anybody would be on the third pairing. But you know, even next season, I'm not looking for him to be a game changer. I'm not. I've tempered my expectations because I think it's a little, I want to say unrealistic. I think it's unrealistic. First of all, he's playing defense. It's the hardest position. He's young still. I do believe he's got great talent, but I don't think it's going to mean that he's going to come in and be lights out his first year. Very few on the defensive side are. And so I don't think so, but I think he will contribute and help this team improve right away, but I don't want to say game changer, personally. Dream Cup Finals for David is Montreal St. Louis, or one of his other favorite teams. Well, that makes sense, but then you don't know who to cheer for. George Sessford, 71-73, Chicago lost. But, okay, but that we did play Chicago. It wasn't a question of if Chicago won or not. It was just when was the last time Montreal-Chicago played in the Cup final. Joe is in the room. Got a mod in the room. Now you guys got to behave. Hey, Joe, how's it going? All we need is 3 games from our team. That's all we need to beat Pittsburgh. We just need 3 games from Carey. Well, yeah. Listen, it's as simple as that. It is. And it could happen. Listen, Carey Price could be the single most important if you're looking to beat Pittsburgh. And look, for me, I don't mind beating Pittsburgh, but I want them to go all the way if they're doing that. Because to me, it's either the cup or the good draft pick. That could be a great draft pick. To me, that's kind of more important, and I'd rather that than that slight chance, that kind of a slight chance that they're going to win a cup. Besides, we all know the Leafs are going to win the cup. The Leafs are going to win the cup on the year. There's no fans in the stands. They're not going to be able to have a parade. And they're just not going to be able to bring the cup with them around. And it's not going to be able to travel around and go places and they can show it off. So to me, actually, this is the perfect year. If you're not a Leafs fan, this is the perfect year for the Leafs to win the cup. Think about it. Just think about what I said. Really, and I don't want them to win the cup. But when you think about that, I'm kind of right. If there's a year where they can't really crow about it much, they can't shove it in our faces, and they can't do all that, this is kind of the year to do it. So, yeah, we'll see. Gregory, I read somewhere that Ottawa would give up their 3rd and 5th pick to get number 1. That's interesting. But would the number 1 team give up the number 1 pick? There's a lot of teams that would say, I'll give up this pick and that pick and this pick, but it's whether the number 1 team would be the one. I don't think the number 1 team would give it up. 6Nitty, how's it going, buddy? I want the Habs to beat Pittsburgh. Who cares? We don't need Lafreniere on our team. Okay, we do need Lafreniere on our team. But we do care. I mean, no, listen, it's kind of how I've said it in a video or two. My brain wants Lafreniere. My heart wants them to beat Pittsburgh and go on. Without a doubt, my heart wants them to beat Pittsburgh in 3 games and go on and just do the best they can. And I'll be there supporting every game. But my brain wants them to get that pick. That's all. That's how I look at it. So what is it? This is your brain on drugs? This is my brain on Lafreniere. and my heart, I'm beating Pittsburgh. It's not really the same. I want to have. Oh, okay, we're there. When you think about it, we can win easily just 3 games, but it would be awesome if we get Lafreniere. Listen, yeah, getting Lafreniere, it's a game changer. It changes the whole ball game for Montreal if you get a player like Lafreniere. No, he doesn't win the cup by himself. No, but he gets you a lot freaking closer and a lot easier to scale that mountain to win. He gets you a lot closer, you know? The Leafs won't win the cup. No, I don't really think they will succeed. I'm just saying that if you're not a Leafs fan and you don't want to see them being able to celebrate the parade and all that, well, this is the year. You know, you're not going to see the cheering. You're not going to see any of that. You're going to have to win it in a really weird way to do it. And, yeah. John, I did think you were a Leafs fan. I did. See, so John is in the room. And it's really not fair because John has been a long time subscriber and a really loyal coming into every week. And it's not fair for us to really keep saying Leafs suck because, listen, he says it because he's hurting because he's a Leafs fan, and it's not fair for us to really rub it in too much. Just a little bit, John, but not too much. I'm reading Shamir's comment to Gregory. Would be funny if Ottawa did that and Lafreniere turned out to be the next Alexander Daigle, which, I mean, it could kind of happen, I guess. That's within the realm of possibility. But, you know, it's kind of unlikely. This is not – Lafreniere isn't just a typical #1 overall pick. He's a bit of a special #1 overall pick. So I really can't see him being a bust. Although Daigle wasn't a full bust, but Daigle had an attitude problem. If I'm not wrong, am I thinking of Daigle or am I thinking of the other one, Alexei Yashin? I'm not sure which one. Yashin was the good player, went on and did okay. Daigle was the bust. Daigle was the bust. Yeah. It's probably going to be 3-2 Habs. Yeah, listen, I honestly, though, I'll tell you what. So I urge you, I guess, and not just because I want the views. I urge you guys to watch my video from today where I did the preview. I previewed it, so I went over the lineups, and then I checkmarked. I hope I remembered to checkmark all of them. Who I thought had the advantage: offense, defense, goalie, and coaching even. And I'll tell you, I didn't give a check to Montreal. So as much, and you're going to jump on me now and say goaltending, but remember this about goaltending. We do have Carey Price, and I think Carey Price is way better individually than Murray and Jarry. But the thing is, they have Murray and Jarry. They have 2 quality goaltenders that you can bring in, one or the other, whoever's hot. If one's not on that night, you can bring the other guy in, and you know you're going to get pretty good goaltending all the time. Whereas what happens if something's wrong with Carey Price? What happens if Carey Price gets hurt? Yeah, I like Caden Primo a lot, but he's really young, and you don't know how he's going to react in a playoff situation that young, and you don't know. I want to think that he will do well, and I'm pretty confident that he would, but we don't know. So I gave them the advantage in that way. So don't beat me up on it, hopefully, in the comments. But I'm kind of expecting it that I might get some bad comments about that. What do you mean Price isn't the advantage? But because I did say in the video, Price could very easily also just come flat out and win the 3 games needed, and boom, 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 you're past Pittsburgh. Yeah, I mean, I said that in the video, so I covered myself. I'm going to remind you guys because comments are going pretty quickly past me. I'm not scrolling, so if I miss something, just re-comment it or take a super chat. Can't help it, but that enters you into the contest, and you could win a pair of skates. Okay, MJ Daigle said that nobody remembers number 2. Number 2 that year was Chris Pronger. Yeah, it didn't work that well for him. You know, it's one of those comments that didn't age well. That's for sure. Yeah, you got to wonder. I didn't even remember if it was Yashin or Daig, because if I'm correct, didn't Ottawa have like the top pick a few years in a row? And Yashin was a good player, but he had an attitude problem. He wanted to be paid like he was the best player in the league without really proving it. But he was a good player, and then it just ran out on him, I guess. My heart wants Lafreniere. My head is out with an upper body injury. I like that one. That's good, George. What about Lindgren? Okay, well, Lindgren is going to be a backup if he gets hurt. I'm not. Look, I don't dislike Lindgren necessarily, but Lindgren hasn't proven to me that he's a quality NHL backup. He may be a okay NHL backup. He's not a quality NHL backup, at least not yet. He's still young enough to turn it around. So I kind of think that I have Primo as the backup for the series. I think that Julian's going to use Primo as the backup as well. I can't see them not using Primo as his backup. I don't know. For me, I just can't. What's the hype for the best left-handed goalie in the league? Is that okay? I gotta scroll. Just went past. What's the hype for the best left-handed goal? Who's the left? Is he left-handed? I don't even know. Are you saying that's Lindgren is the best left-handed goalie? Not many people outside Ottawa remember Daig. No, not too many people outside Ottawa remember Daig. Yeah, that's very true. What happened if Mitch Marner gets hurt? They have somebody that somebody else gets in the lineup. Like any other team, John, that gets a player that gets hurt, we replace him. The Habs versus Winnipeg for the Cup. Interesting. I'm going to love it as a fan, but I'm not going to be happy. How many people are entered in the contest so far? Just 2 so far, but it's not ending anytime soon. It's going to go on for a little bit, right through all this hockey. So, so only 2 so far. So. Price is awesome, goaltender, but he can't do everything. No, nobody can do everything. That's like I said about Lafreniere. He's not going to win you everything, but he's a big piece towards it. Yeah, I agree with you at Rodney. I would love to see Habs versus Winnipeg in finals. Would be interesting. Bada bing. St. Viator bagels are the best. I had 2 this morning for breakfast. 60, it would look good. Would look good. NHL hockey news. I was wondering where you were. That's the first time it's been that long without you already telling me in advance. Unless you did it in a comment and I haven't gotten to it yet. I apologize. Welcome in. Thanks for coming in, buddy. What happened if Jack Campbell gets hurt? Lisa Dunn. Well, they got this kid named Frederick Anderson. I hear he might be okay. Wolf Beans. If I hadn't said hi, Wolf Beans, I'm sorry. Hi there, buddy. Lindgren is left-handed. Okay. Lindgren is left-handed. Yeah, he just hasn't proven it for me. That's for me. Hey, listen, this is my opinion. Doesn't mean your opinion is wrong. That's just my opinion. So for me, I seem to say for me a lot. If I'm Julian, I'm going to be going with Primo as the backup. Offhand, right now, I haven't seen anything, but offhand, that's where I'm leaning. Winnipeg has a team again. I know the Thrashers have a fan branch in Winnipeg, but that's about it. Well, yeah. Okay, I'm going to assume you're joking there. John Weichel, call players up from AHL if players get hurt. No, they're already carrying players that they can have. It's an expanded roster. That's why there's going to be 28 players instead of the regular roster for the playoffs. There's going to be 20. So you're going to have a few extra guys on the team. And there is a taxi squad of players. Well, maybe that is the taxi squad. Black Aces, they call them also. Of players that are made up mostly of AHL players that I think can come in if you really are hit by total horrible injuries. I think. I'm not positive on that, but I know they're carrying extra guys in case of injuries. Habs versus Jets would be an interesting series. It'd be cool to see a Canadian team win the cup again. Yes. Now this I would not disagree. And even, I'll go as far as to say, and just going back to what I said about the Leafs winning the cup, how it would be a perfect year because of a few things. So even if it would be the Leafs winning the cup, yes, it's about time the cup comes back to Canada. But preferably not for the Leafs. Sorry, John. Sorry, I'm getting too comfortable here. How are you watching the Habs and Penguins game? I don't have cable. I want to be able to see all series and any places. I asked the hockey guy. He had no clue. Yeah, because he's a very he's always on the up and up, and he shouldn't change anything. I got to tell you. Hang on. You know what? When the time comes for games, I will put the link to a site where I watch my games. It's from Reddit. It's subreddit, I think. Anyway, something like that. But it's from Reddit, and that's how. And it hasn't failed since I started using it. But I also have another place to see the Habs games. But if you want to watch like whatever team, I'll send you a link. I'll try to remember to get the link. I'll try to send it to you. And yeah, it should be okay. I don't see why it wouldn't work again this year. They have it every year. Hey, listen, Shamir, they're lucky. They were lucky enough in Winnipeg to get another team. They were just lucky enough to get a team back again. We haven't been able to, as far as baseball here in Montreal, to have that happen. Did you see, by the way, if anybody's a baseball fan, the Blue Jays, they won't let the Blue Jays play baseball in Canada, which is smart. It is smart. You can't have it. Teams coming in and out like that, especially from the States coming here, can't have it. Wolverine, hey buddy, I watched a video of yours the other day. The masks, you were showing the masks. Awesome masks. Awesome mask. I would really like to get one of those. Just I'm too cheap to buy one. Oh geez, it jumped. What happened? Oh, I was looked over there for a second. It must have jumped because I don't recognize anything at the top of that comment list. Oh my God, sorry guys. Okay, that's you guys talking to each other. Would love to see McDavid and the Oilers bring the cup back home. Well, I think McDavid is going to. I don't know. I think it's a year where he's kind of going to get serious about. I mean, how often do they get in the playoffs? He doesn't know when he's going to be back in there. I think McDavid kind of tries to pull this team along, him and Draisaitl, by the bootstraps, as they say. And I fully expect him to win the qualifying round. Actually, speaking of that, it made me think, did you hear the NHL announced that all teams, even the qualifying round teams, have made the postseason and qualified for the postseason, which kind of means the Habs have made the postseason. So the drought is over. Whatever it was, 2-3 years? So it's over. It's official. They said at first it wasn't that way, but now apparently it's official. Well, I saw the NHL tweet on Twitter saying that. Korshkov playing in the playoffs. Who's Korshkov? That's a name I have not heard of yet. If Frederik Andersen gets hurt, the Leafs are done. Now I'll agree with you. Although you never know. Listen, Campbell, I mean, he's an NHL goalie. You never know. In the playoffs, all you need is your goalie to get hot. He doesn't have to be the best goalie. He just has to be the hot goalie at the time. So, maybe not. You never know. Who is underrated in the Habs training camp? My opinion. You mean a Habs player who's underrated? Well, I think going in, but I don't know if he's any longer, is KK. Because KK, I mean, did we all expect I guess some of us expected that he might get a look and he might be on the roster, but I mean, did we really expect that he would do as well as he did? No. To the point where, honestly, from what I can tell, hey, Jackson, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate that. I'm going to get to your right now after this. From what I can tell, KK looks like he won't go back to the AHL. I said it in the other day in the video. I'm starting to lean towards KK not having to go back. Just we'll see what we get from him now, and that's going to tell me I don't think he's going to go back to the AHL. He might be ready now. Okay, for Jackson, thanks for the super chat. Who's the next player to be traded from the Habs? This is a good question. I don't think it's going to be I think it'll be a lower name than you might think until the trade deadline. There might be a move earlier on in the season, so that's why I'm saying that. If it waits to the trade deadline, it might be Thomas Tatar, because I kind of think they might end up keeping Petrie and trading Tatar, or could be reversed, but I don't think they keep both of them. I don't think they're going to be able to afford that. So I'm going to go with Tatar because it's hard to tell early in the season who it might be, but I'm going to go with Tatar. But I don't think Tatar gets traded before the trading deadline, though. Trade deadline next season. That's what I think. Okay. If the Habs get knocked out, which team are you going to cheer for? Mine will be the Canucks, Golden Knights, and we'll see. I think I'm going to take this as a stance on that. I'm not going to necessarily cheer for anyone, but I think I'm going to try to do. It might not be every night, but on the nights where I want to cover hockey, I'm going to pick a team that night that I can watch, and I'm going to watch the game and give a review of the game. So I'm going to kind of do it different, so that way I get different teams. I don't want to get stuck on one, I think. So, but I guess it would be Canucks because Canucks are kind of my next favorite team if I have a next favorite one. Best I can do, sorry. George, 18 and 2 will be in each game. Each extra skaters, healthy scratch. Yeah, the games, they're carrying the same number of players. It's not that. It is on they're allowed to have with them. And any of the players that the 28 on the roster, some of them are in the press box. And yeah, the roster size is the same on the ice. It just they'll have guys in case guys get hurt. Eatmo, hey, bro. Hudon. Okay. I'm not sure why you say Hudon. You got to give me a little more than just Hudon. John, Caleb Jones says he has virus. I'm not even sure who that is, honestly. I saw something like that, and I didn't see the team, and I don't know the name offhand. Shamir, have a great night. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Don't forget Wednesday night. Wednesday night we'll do also the members only. But I mean, if you can't make it, that's fine. But we're members only every Wednesday night as well. Yeah, thanks, and I'll see you next live stream. NHL, awesome, Rick. Can't wait for your playoff videos and love your preview of your Habs and Pens. Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I had a different idea to do it, and I couldn't put it all together. And I said, okay, I'm just going to do it this way. And that was with the pros and cons. I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I'm kind of glad I didn't go that way though, because it was already a 31-minute video, and it would have been another. I don't even know how long. I can get long-winded. I realize sometimes I didn't think I could get that long-winded. Wolverine. I think Tatar will eventually get traded, and plus his contract is up soon, and he might be asking a lot. I used to think Drouin is likely, but I believe it's just Montreal media starting rumors. Yeah, the rumor for Drouin is going to be out there until he shows a little more consistency. If he can show what he did in the beginning of the season and be consistent at that, they're not trading him. They're not. Pasternak had the virus too, but he's back. He's finished isolating and he's back. If Habs out, I want a team that's never won. Yeah, I want to see a Canadian team. I really want to see a Canadian team this year. Hudon will go to the Sens and will have a good career. Okay, he's leaning more towards going to the KHL apparently. So, but I mean, you could be right. You could be right. I've said for a while that I think Hudon could. There are the teams Hudon could probably find a more permanent role. NHL hockey news. You're doing that because you see that. You know, it's funny. I got that today. Someone put either some stuff out, and it was like, you know, take what you want, and that was in the pile that they had. I said, oh yeah, that I'm taking, and yeah, it's up. That's a good one, Ryan. I got to read that. Ryan says, "Bada bing, the Panthers are going to win. They're used to playing with no fans. They've got an advantage." Yeah, almost, eh? Using your membership perks. I gotta find a way to get more emojis. It's not a huge perk, and I only have the one. Mini Canucks, Preds, Jets. So wait, Mini Canucks, Preds, Jets. You're saying that's your final four? I would like to see any Canadian team win it. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think pretty much. Like I said, even if the Leafs have to win it, it's the perfect year if they're going to win it. It really is. It's the perfect year if they're going to win it. For me as a Habs fan, it's a perfect year. Winnipeg Jets will win the cup. Yeah, well, that would be their first. The Jets never won. Yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't mind seeing a team, especially a Canadian team who's not won the cup yet, which is their Canadian team other than there's Winnipeg and Vancouver. Is there another Canadian? Oh, Ottawa, but Ottawa's not in it, so that won't. You can't win it if you're not in it. But of the Canadian teams in it, am I right? It's Winnipeg and Vancouver that haven't won. So yeah, if it's not going to be Montreal to win the cup, then I would like it to be one of the two that haven't won yet. Max, thanks for coming in. Okay, just want to see you. Yeah, so Wednesday, and yeah, we'll do Wednesday. Wednesday seems to be the day. We picked it, and that seems to be the day that's better for everybody. So have a great one, Max. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Yeah, I'm getting tired already. I don't know why. It's not even an hour yet. What are your thoughts on Johnny Gaudreau rumors? I'm not even sure what the rumors are. What's the problem with Johnny Gaudreau that they want to trade him away so badly, it seems like? I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. You kind of have to tell me. When I don't watch every single hockey guy video, and sometimes I'll pick. If it's not about a team I really follow, I might not watch it. I'm not a huge Calgary Flames fan, so I don't really watch those, and I haven't seen anything else on it, so I don't really know. Yeah, I think the Canucks can do okay too. Bada bing. Excuse me. Who do they face again in the qualifying round? Vancouver. I can't. I'm blanking on that one. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, there. Where's Romanov? Have not seen him. Yeah, because he has to isolate. He's here, but he has to do a certain amount of time isolated and get tests, and then when they can clear him. So they said that might take 8 days. So, Ryan, if my team gets eliminated, I'll cheer for any Canadian team. Oh boy, that just went right past me. Sorry. No, that's not fair. I was reading it. Buffalo Sabres never won a cup yet. Nope. Say Price gets hurt going through the playoffs. And Primo, well, then it's Lindgren. Lindgren, then McNiven. McNiven's got no NHL experience, so it's definitely Lindgren after that. John Weichel, they're not Canadian, though. If Canucks can keep that team together, they could be contenders for the next one. Well, I agree. No, I agree. I like Markstrom a lot. I had him last year in one of my fantasy. Well, not last year. This year. Oh, maybe it was last year. I'm not sure. I think it actually was last season, not this one. Canucks versus Wild. Oh yeah, I think Canucks have a good shot there. Personally, I read somewhere that Romanov is having a hard time getting a visa. No, it's not that. I believe they've got that worked out. It's that when he gets here, he has to quarantine for a minimum. I heard it's a minimum of 8 days. So And then he has to obviously test positive twice. Negative twice over 4 days, I think. So, no, he wasn't going to be able to be at the beginning. But I would think we're what? When did it start? On the 13th? We're 5 days in. I'd say another 5. It might be another 5 days before we start. It's like, which kind of seems weird. Okay, here's what seems weird. I hadn't thought about that he has to quarantine and all that stuff. So he wasn't going to get a full training camp with them, which is fine. He doesn't need to really 100%. But I thought, okay, so he's going to get a few days. And then I'm reading stuff from him saying that he may go back to Russia after phase 3 and not take part in phase 4 at all. And I'm thinking, geez, are you really burning a year of your ELC to come here and be here for a week? And I thought, oh, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I don't know if I'm misunderstanding what I read, but apparently from him, like not quotes, but they're saying he said that he, what are his plans? That he was thinking of going back to Russia for after phase 3. It didn't make sense. Maybe he meant after phase 4, and it came out phase 3. I don't know. So but I don't think getting a visa is his problem. But definitely, yeah, you're not seeing him because he has to isolate and quarantine or whatever. When he got to Canada, he had to. But I do believe he's in Canada at this point. Canucks are not playing Flames. The Flames are okay, you corrected yourself. Okay. Yeah, Flames are playing the Jets. That's right. Anyone but the Leafs, Blues, Vegas, Oilers, Flames, Pens, Tampa. Okay. Fair enough. Mikko Koivu, favorite Wild player right now, but next season, that could change. Yeah, he's not sure what he's doing yet. He doesn't want to think about it till after they're out of the playoffs. Have a stick only blade signed by Saku. Really? Awesome. I would love to have something signed by Saku. Jackson, how does a membership work? Like say every month the membership expires? No, you'd have to cancel, but every month they renew it. So yeah, you pay every month. That's why the $2 one is the easiest one. I'm a $2 member. Although I do have Jeff, Goalie Girls Rule. He's an elite player, and Gaza, doesn't seem here tonight. Gaza is a top 6 forward. So it's the different prices, but yeah, you can cancel it anytime. So you take for the 1 month. If you want, you stop it the next month. I mean, you're allowed to do that. So that's how it works. And you don't need a credit card. You can use your debit card for it. That's how I did it. I took my membership because I wanted to know how it worked when you sign up, like what happens, how you do it, what they take, what kind of stuff. So I did it. So yeah. So yeah, you're a member as long as you stay a member. As long as you don't cancel, you're a member, and it renews every month. The Habs should try and get Radcliffe from Flyers. I sang that last year. Or the last beginning of I was saying that already at some point before the season started. I don't remember exactly where. Radcliffe would be a good idea, but yeah, I don't think Philadelphia wants to give up on him or give him up. I don't know, and but we could really use a guy like that with that size and that rapport with Nick Suzuki already. What happened if Frederick Anderson got hurt and Jack Campbell? Who go in? Well, Jack Campbell go in, and then they've got I don't know how many goalies are in camp for the Leafs, but they got more than those 2 in camp. And one of the goalies that are with them in camp will be with them at phase 4, and they'd be the backup. George Sesford, Habs will be the next team in Canada to win the Cup in 2021. I would personally like that Montreal would be the next Canadian team, but honestly, I would like it to be this year that some Canadian team wins. It wouldn't bother me, but it would be nice if Montreal was the next Canadians team to win. That'd be real cool. Johnny Gaudreau rumors are pretty similar to the Drouin rumors, and plus Gaudreau hasn't had a consistent year this season. Yeah, so he has one inconsistent season, and they want to get rid of him. Most underrated Habs prospect. My thoughts. Oh my God. Oh, that's not an easy one. I'm gonna have a mint. My mouth is dry. Oh my God, underrated. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have a good one. I don't know that he was underrated before he got hurt, but I'm going to go with Joel Teasdale because I think most people forget about him. I think a lot of people forget about Joel Teasdale, so he's got to be very underrated. So I'll go. That's one that might be not fair because that's kind of easy. God. I don't know. Maybe I'll go with my favorite there, Raphael Harvey-Pinard. I really think this kid's going to be good. I have high hopes for him. I would think he's going to be pretty underrated when he gets here. So yeah, Raphael Harvey-Pinard. I like that kid. I like the possibility. I like his upside. My favorite season for the Habs. Oh. Wow, good question. You know, it's funny. All the seasons that I'm thinking of were all Stanley Cup. I probably shouldn't have had this mint. I'm going to talk funny. They're all Stanley Cup winning seasons. And it goes to show you, I grew up in an era where Montreal won the Cup most of the time. Often. So that, to me, a favorite season would have to have a Cup win. That's weird. Yeah, every season that stands out, I can tell you right now, is a Stanley Cup season. So I'm going to say, oh my God, which one did I think 93, the last one, I think might have been my favorite. I don't know why. I think it was, for me, the most exciting for some, it's a title between 86 and 93. 86 was a lot of fun. The city was really into it. It was kind of not expected. We had Patrick Waugh just starting out. We didn't really know what to expect from the kid. And that was pretty damn good. That was a pretty damn good season. I'm going to go with 86 because I have a lot of memories from 86. Not just of the hockey, but everything around that time. So I'm going to go with 86 for me. How about, I'll say, I know yours is going to be a cup because you guys haven't seen a cup win, but what would you say yours was or is? Shrek. Hey, Shrek is in the room. Where's Donkey? Is Donkey with you? Trade Domi to Buffalo for the 8th pick and draft Sanderson and hopefully get first with ours and get Lafreniere. I wouldn't mind that at all, but I really don't know. I don't know. Do you think? I guess they would, eh? I guess if you're Buffalo, you'd probably trade that 8th pick for Domi. Hang on, I got just a text I've got to answer. But I mean, if we walked away with Lafreniere and Sanderson out of this draft, I mean, that would be like, wow. Talk about turning your kind of fortunes around. That would really turn the fortunes around a lot. Hang on. Yeah, that would really that would be like too much I'd have to pinch myself and think because I'm dreaming. How good can Joel Teasdale be? Well, it's it's even harder to say because of the injury. But I mean, he could have been, I think, probably more like a middle 6 forward. I don't think a top line one, but a middle 6 forward potential. I imagine if his knee is healed properly, and he's also, they talk about delayed development. He's got a bit of delayed development as well, probably more so than a Juleson. But I think he could be a good player. I think he still has a good upside. Joseph Wall. go in if Frederick Anderson get hurt and Jack Campbell. No, they'll have another goalie designated for that. No, they won't put I think Wall is a defenseman. No, I don't think so. No, if anything, they'd have the emergency goalie. You know, like how they got beat by an emergency goalie. They'd have the David Ayers. Probably not. I don't know if it'd be Ayers. Actually, it might be because it's going to be in Toronto, so maybe it would be. I don't know. In either 77 or 78, the Habs only lost 8 games. Yeah, it was 77. In the 76-77 season, they went 68-12. They lost 11 games in 76 season. 77 they lost 8, and I believe in 78 they lost 10. So think about that. It's 29 games lost in 3 seasons. That's it. And there's no overtime losses or shootout losses. The other number is ties, so they are not losses. They literally lost 29 games in 3 seasons. I think that's pretty awesome. Sorry, it's my ex-wife, so I don't know if there's something wrong. She asked why I was busy. I don't know if people forget that I do a live stream at 8 o'clock at night on Saturdays. I've been doing this live stream for like, okay, there was a while, okay, I had it at different days, but I started this live stream not last summer? I think the summer, wait, 2019. Yeah, in summer of 2019. Okay, I guess I'm on live on camera. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody. Hey, everybody. Did you know that Cartman on South Park, they took Archie Bunker's character and put it his face.
Okay, but that's not about hockey. I'm literally on camera.
Okay.
I wasn't joking.
I'll call you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. How many live streams are you going to get that people are going to do that? Not too many. You can only come to this place for a live stream, and that's going to happen. You got to admit. Oh, you like the purple case? Because this is this isn't my normal choice for it. No, it's just somebody had this case, and I wouldn't normally go. Not that I don't like purple, but I would probably not normally take purple. But yeah. Joseph Wall is a goalie. Then Wall, Wall could be a guy that goes in. What do I use for a phone? What do I use for a phone? Ha ha ha! It's a Samsung. So probably a 2 or 3 year old phone. Shrek is a hockey fan. Yeah. So I asked, I wonder where Donkey is. Donkey is a hockey fan. The Shrek hockey movie, great idea. That is actually a really good idea. Oh, NHL. Sorry, I didn't see that you said goodnight. If I did, if you're still there, thanks for coming in. See you on the live, the members only. Would be cool if the Habs draft Miku. Okay, wait. I'm all over the place. I'm scrolling down. I'm getting to the end. If I missed anything, just retype it in. I'll get to it, or take a super chat. Shrek. Oh well. Right. Mike Myers like the least. Yeah, but I mean, Shrek is his own person. Shrek could like the Habs. 1971 most surprising, 1977 most satisfying, and 1993 most recent. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I want to say in the 70s we were just so damn used to it. So I can't say most satisfying. That's probably why 86, because it was the first time that I had to wait. Was it 6 or 7 years in between Stanley Cups? I hadn't seen that ever. So the fact that they won when they weren't expected to was satisfying. So that's for me. That's why. Captain America. Oh no, you're right. Maybe that wasn't free. Norlinder is underrated. I wanted to say Norlinder, but I don't know that he's underrated. At least not by the yeah, maybe he is. But he's quickly becoming less and less underrated as the time goes by. But Norlinder crossed my mind. I was going to say it, but I thought, man, maybe he's not so underrated anymore. Yeah, Leafs are. Listen, if Anderson's out, Leafs are done, buddy. Leafs are done. You got it. You got to admit. Okay, there were no more comments, so I'm going to scroll back and see what I missed. Would it be cool if the Habs draft Mikko Koivu? Habs were close to getting him. Koivu was picked 6th overall, and Komisarek chosen 7th overall. Yeah, but what are they going to do with him? You mean it would have been cool if they did instead of Komisarek? Oh, yeah, that would have been awesome. It really would have been awesome. Yeah, I kind of remember that. I thought, yeah, we just missed out on Koivu's brother. That's what kept us from it. It's bloody the Wild got there just ahead of us. And we got stuck with Komisarek, who was promising, and it looked like it was kind of going to be good. But, I mean, I don't know what happened with him. He got into a fight with somebody, didn't he? He got his ass kicked, and then he was never the same after that. I think we talked about this once before. Am I right? And it just turned out to be horrible, and then he went to the Leafs. Let me go back and see if there's any newer. Renegade Man 83, message retracted. Ottawa Senators will win the Cup next year. I don't think they'll win next year, but I've got to tell you, they're going to be a much better team. They've got to be. They're going to get 2 really good players. If they pick right, they probably get 2 guys that are going to play for them next season and bring them in the right direction until they end up having to sign their very first expense contract, and then they'll be traded somewhere. But until then, the Ottawa Senators will be a little bit better. As long as Melnick is the owner of that team, he's not spending money on salaries. He does not like to spend his money. Okay, Renegade Man was answering the Komisarek thing. Lucic kicked Komisarek ass more than once. I think it was 3 times. Okay, I knew somebody did it. And I was thinking Lucic, but I wasn't 100% sure. Maybe one day Nashville will win the Cup. Well, they came close like a couple, right? 3 years ago. They were close. And, you got to hope, right? I mean, every team should get a Cup win at least once. And look, some teams wait a long time, but I mean, one day it should happen. I thought it was going to happen that first year that Subban was there. I really thought they were going to win. What are we in time? Oh, we still got. I'd like to get another 15 minutes in, but I'm going to need. I can't entertain anybody. And we're dropping. Hey, we're dropping down to 14. What happened? Am I that boring all of a sudden? Or are other things going on? I think people can see I'm a little tired. Or they don't like me eating a candy, which I probably shouldn't have done. I don't know why I did it. It's because I'm getting older and senile, and I do things I don't realize. That's what it is. Yep. What do I use for a phone? Oh, I did that. Yeah, I have that Samsung. What is it? What model is it? Just for something to say here. What position Shrek would play? I bet he would be a goon. Oh, Shrek would be a defenseman, without a doubt. Shrek would be a defenseman. First of all, he'd be a stay-at-home defenseman because he couldn't skate very well because he's really big. And, I can't see him skating very well. So he'd be a stay-at-home defenseman. And, he would, if he couldn't stop you, he would just punch you out. Just grab you and just punch you. Oh, I went too far back. I'm looking for comments that I didn't answer. I thought I missed a whole bunch, too. Okay. Do I think the Oilers are going to win the Cup before the Habs? Oh, I hope not. No, I shouldn't say that. That's not fair. I guess that's a possibility. You know, unfortunately, it's a possibility, but I hope not. I'd like to see Montreal win, but it depends. I think they're a few players away yet, really, from the Cup. So I think they have to make a few more moves, bring in a few more pieces, and then we'll kind of see. But I hope not. Unless they win it this year, because I don't think Montreal will, and I don't want Montreal to win the Cup. I want them to get that good pick. Myers, day one, Buffalo Sabres win the Cup. Wait a second. Myers, which Myers are we talking about? I don't know. Is there Myers on Buffalo right now? Are we talking about the defenseman Myers? I'm not sure you're talking about. Jackson Rember. Oh, I think remember. Jackson Rember. Where are we able to watch the Canadians versus Leafs on July? This I don't know. This is what I said. If I am able to find somewhere to watch it online, I will stream the first period. But remember, I don't show anything. I can't because I don't want any copyright problems. But I'll live stream while it's on. I'll be able to watch. We can talk about it and stuff like that. But I don't know. But if I can find somewhere on there, I'll try to let everybody know. A link where you can go and get it as well, like I am getting it, and hopefully we'll be able to do that. Because I'd like to see that. I want to see that game. I want to see that game. I don't like missing Leafs Canadian. That didn't come out right. Leafs Canadians games. John Weichel, maybe just give them another 10 years to make the playoffs. Buffalo Sabres, yeah. Well, listen, I don't think Jack Eichel's going to want to wait another 10 years for them to make the playoffs. They're going to have to do something soon or trade him away. Commissaric was always tagged as our next captain. I don't want to say always, but I think there was a point where they were talking about it because of his size and his toughness. I don't know. He didn't look too tough against Lucic. That's for sure. Sorry, thirsty. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad. I don't know. I don't remember what happened exactly with him. That why did we trade him to? No, we didn't trade him. What happened? He didn't. He signed with Toronto, didn't he? He signed as a free agent with them. Anyways, for whatever reason, I don't like him anymore. I tend to not like guys that it's okay if you're traded. You know, if you're traded somewhere, it's not your fault where you're traded to. I get that. But when you're on a team and then you go to their biggest rival and you sign a free agent, I don't know why I'm looking there. The camera's here. And you sign a free agent contract. I don't know. Something just sits wrong for me with that. Sits wrong with me for that. I'm dyslexically talking. Where are the Canadians? Oh, I answered that. Just hope the Bruins meet the Leafs meet the Bruins again in the playoffs and lose. Matthews disappears a lot in the playoffs. Well, he's the lady being. He's too busy bending over, pulling his pants down. Pittsburgh will win the Cup this year. I think, I legitimately think Pittsburgh's got a good shot at it. I really do. I think with everybody healthy, I mean, look what they did with so many injuries, I think this team, if they're fully healthy and they don't look too rusty and they don't have too many injuries pop up now, I think they've got a good shot at it. They were a well-coached team. You got Malkin, Crosby. It's going to be hard. I don't see how Montreal is going to down the middle. I don't see how they're going to counter Malkin, Crosby. I really don't. Malkin's a big guy, physical kind of player too. Gaudreau's going to have everything. It's going to take everything to neutralize a guy like Malkin. Then you've got Suzuki up against Crosby, because I don't think they're going to give Suzuki the assignment of taking on Malkin. I really don't. I think Suzuki's game might be better suited to take on a Crosby anyway. Their games are more similar than Malkin's game and Suzuki's game. So, yeah, that's how I think it's going to go. John is mad at his crush. This is not a place for complaining about women. It's not a place for that. The Habs take the risk and not protect Price and Weber from the expansion draft. It's a good question, and I imagine that might be an option. The thing is, what if they? Well, they can't lose both. They can only lose one or the other. I really can't see them not protecting Price, but when you think about it, with that contract size, it might not have to protect Price. That contract just might be too much, right? $10.5 million, an expansion team. Would they really want a $10.5 million player at that point? I don't know. At his age, so you might not have to. I guess that's it's something that they'll probably talk about. And then say that they Seattle. Forgot the team, the city. Say Seattle does actually take one of them. You can kind of say, well, you got to look at it and say, well, that's one of the contract problems. It frees up a lot of cap space, blah, blah, blah. If it's Weber, well, it's not the end of the world. You've got Petrie probably still here, and you'll be okay. And if it's Price, well, honestly, Stanley Cup winning teams don't usually have the absolute best goalie in the league. Price isn't really that anymore, but you can make that argument that he's right up there. But you don't have to have the best goalie in the league to win the cup. The famous saying is that you just need a hot goalie. But you look at Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh has two really good quality goalies, and it gives them a lot of good options, I think. And is that better than Price? Might be, might not be. It's all still played out there on the ice, and we never know until the game is played. Never know until the fat lady sings. I wonder if that's a saying that's going to get changed in all this cancel culture. Can you still say that? Am I going to get in trouble for saying that? You never know until the fat lady sings, because that used to be a saying. If it's not a nice thing, then I apologize. And if it's okay, well, I said it. I feel like the SCF, is that Stanley Cup final? Okay, that's it. It's just going to be Boston versus St. Louis again. They both done great this season. Maybe St. Louis will win 2 cups in a row like Pittsburgh. I don't necessarily know that's the case because, for Boston, I don't know how big of a team overall they are. St. Louis, they're one of the biggest teams in the league. I don't know necessarily that a big team has an advantage this time around with what kind of hitting are they going to allow? How much close contact are they going to allow? I haven't really heard. Is it like checking like normal? I know they don't want scrums after the whistle and all that, but are they going to discourage some of the in-close kind of play? So I don't know. If they are discouraging it, I don't think that St. Louis necessarily has an advantage, because if you're not allowed to be so much in tight and touching and well, not touching. It's not like, oh, let me touch him. Checking and that kind of physical contact. I think it opens up a lot of time and space for the smaller teams. And the smaller players are usually very skilled players, and it could change the whole dynamic. So we'll have to see how it's I don't know if it's a case of how they're reffing the game or what the instructions they're going to be giving to the players about checking and in-close play. Usually Pittsburgh is slow out of the gates. That may get them. But so isn't Price usually slow out of the gates as well? So you could use that argument. I think I kind of think, with everybody being so 4 months, they're 4 months away. With everybody pretty much being 4 months of inactivity, I think they might all be a little rusty and a little bit slow. And you might find the first this first series, the qualifying series, might look quite like lousy hockey until they get their speed back and their get rid of the rust. And so you might see the qualifying round and the round robin tournament not be as good as we're used to. Randy, hey Randy, yeah, Randy N. You changed your avatar. That's what threw me off on that. Um, uh, you can tell I'm really tired because I'm having trouble reading and talking right now. I feel like I'm a dyslexic talker. Um, Randy went up there for a strong playoff showing. I'm hoping for a Lafreniere #1 pick. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, we're just talking about that. I think the head is hoping for Lafreniere, and the heart is hoping for a good, strong showing in the playoffs. So that's how I'm going by it. I'll go with whatever happens, but I don't think they're gonna be able to win the cup. I hate saying that, but I don't see it, and I'd rather get the Lafreniere pick, or not. I mean, they're not guaranteed it, but I'd rather get that shot, and if not, you get a 9th pick, which is still going to be a good pick, but I'd rather that than that really unlikely chance they're going to win the cup. John Weichel, if you're a Leafs fan, why are you so gloom and doom about your team? You should be trying to sell us on your team. Every team has that one player that is really masculine. Example, the Jets Bufflin. And who would that player be for Montreal? Oh, that's easy. Shea Weber. They don't call him Mad Mountain or Meat Mountain. Mad Mountain or Meat Mountain? One of the two. They don't call him that for nothing. Yeah, it's definitely Shea Weber. Shea Weber is so masculine that the word masculine bends over for. No, that doesn't work. I don't know. I'm tired, guys. Whatever comes out of my mouth right now for the last 4 minutes or 3 minutes of this live stream, I want to tell you, I am not responsible for it. Nope. I want Pittsburgh to lose the qualifying round, but the idea of them getting Lafreniere scares me. Yeah, I don't want them to get Lafreniere. I don't want anybody else to get Lafreniere but Montreal, but somebody will if Montreal doesn't. Suzuki or KK future #1 center? Suzuki, and I think KK #2. But, it wouldn't shock me if it were the other way around. But right now, as things stand right now, I'm going to say Suzuki, and I've been saying that for a while. But KK right up there behind him, and you might even go and say it's like 1A and 1B, but I still think Suzuki is going to be the 1A. If Seattle got Weber, who the next player be? Well, you mean who would replace Weber? Well, that would be Petrie, I would think. I would think that one of the reasons why I think they'd hold on to Petrie is in case anything happens to Weber, if he does get picked. I doubt he will. But I think Petrie would be your next guy like Weber, your elder statesman, defenseman. Yeah. Okay. Listen. Before more stuff comes up, it's almost at an hour and a half. My brain is not functioning properly. Because I've been up since 6 this morning. It was really hot this morning, and I got up early, and I had stuff to do today, so it was like I have trouble going back to sleep sometimes when I've got stuff to do that I'm worried about, and that's one of those days. And I've been up since 6, so I'm having trouble. You can see, look at my face, you can see I'm out of it. So listen, thanks everybody for being here. Sorry I got tired. I would have liked to actually go out a little longer, but I'm not thinking straight here. I'm having trouble even just reading. I hate when that happens. So thanks for everybody for being here. See you next video. Should be a video tomorrow. Tomorrow is Sunday. I do have something to do, but I haven't decided what video to do tomorrow. There'll be a video. Look for it. Probably news of the day tomorrow too, as well. And there's the members only live stream on Wednesdays. So if you haven't become a member yet and you're thinking of it, it's another reason why you might want to do that. That's every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, and we do every Saturday at 8 o'clock. So I'll see you on the next videos. See you next week on Saturday. And thanks for being here, everybody. I really do appreciate it. Peace out, y'all. Please stay safe out there. Wear a mask. Really, please wear a mask when you're around people. Besides, it is mandatory. At least where I am. At least where I am. See y'all. Have a great night. Boy, I'm out of it.